Hi folks, HR Funk here, and I'm out at the House of Pain range with Ted from House of Pain, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. We're going to be doing a torture test of an AR-15 lower, and Ted's going to tell you all about it and a little bit about why we're doing this, what we're going to do, and what we hope to accomplish. So Ted?
This here is a unbranded AR-15 lower. The company Unbranded AR makes them, and they say this is made out of carbon fiber. However, after getting one and looking at it and feeling it, we believe it's just regular plastic. So we're going to test today. We're really going to try to destroy it. Maybe even run it over, throw it around and see if it can survive. They claim it's just as good as a mil-spec aluminum lower. So we're going to test that and find out.
So for an old jarhead like me, it's going to be kind of foreign to my thinking to torture test a fine rifle, but in this case, we're doing it to try to find out just how much this carbon fiber lower is going to be able to tolerate and still be able to perform properly as a component of a rifle. So in just a little bit, we're going to get things set up and ready to go. We're going to be doing a lot of shooting, a lot of work with this thing, and we'll see what it can do. All right, folks, as you can see, we have gone with a manly color for our upper to be able to use for this test. Ted's going to tell you a little bit about what this upper is and the other components in the rifle that we're going to be using for the test today.
So here we have a Grid Defense 5.56 upper, 16-inch barrel, and we did replace the trigger on this lower with a LaRue trigger. So it's a pretty high-end trigger for a pretty low-end lower.
And again, it's in a very manly color. So here we go with the testing. All right, folks, after that first 200 rounds, everything's getting pretty warm here, so we're going to cool it off some. And we'll see if it's good for another 200. So at 400 rounds in, we have an issue that I think is attributable to the lower. In fact, it's something I've never seen before. The rear takedown pin has walked out of the lower, and in fact, okay, I guess I got it back in. Never had that happen before, but I did want to show that was one issue that we've had so far with this lower that we're testing. All right, folks, we've had to switch uppers, or at least we're going to switch uppers, because that last one has gotten hot to the point that it's just not going to run anymore. So before we put it back together and start the shooting again, we're going to do a little bit more of our torture testing to this lower, then we'll put it all back together and see if it's still going to run. Broke it.
Wow.
And I didn't even hit it that hard.
Nope.
Well, folks, if it can be broken, Marines can break it. You might have noticed that when I struck it on the ground, I was not swinging it that hard. I just gave it a couple of kind of semi-firm taps, really, and it cracked that juncture right there where the receiver extension tube connects. And in fact, it's broken to the point that if you push in on the buffer retainer is wanting to come shooting out of there, as you can see right there. So I think our test has stopped, and Ted is sad about that because he loaded up a whole lot more ammunition that we were going to be running through this thing. Now, I don't know if it was some combination of the heat and cooling it down with the water like we did, but again, I did not strike that thing that hard on the ground, and you can see that was enough to fracture that portion of the receiver right there, and this lower is done for. So that's going to do it, folks, for our test of the unbranded carbon fiber AR lower receiver. And that's also going to wrap up this video a little quicker than I thought we were going to. So as always, if you have any questions or comments, make sure you forward those to me. Remember, if you purchase anything from Optics Planet, be sure to use my discount code, which is... And if you use that discount code, it's good for 5% off anything you purchase from Optics Planet. Also remember, WarbirdBunker.com is making t-shirts for the channel. If you go to WarbirdBunker.com, you can find my t-shirt there, as well as all of Nathan's other firearms and patriotic themed gear. And if you use my discount code at WarbirdBunker.com, which is HRFunk4U, that'll save you 10% off your purchase from Warbird Bunker. And House of Pain, if you go to House of Pain, I would not necessarily recommend getting one of these receivers, but if you go to House of Pain, I have a discount code there, which is HRFunk10. Anything you order from House of Pain, and let me ask you while you're here, Ted, does that apply to firearms or only ammunition? Because I've always had that question.
That is firearms and ammunition.
So that's 10% off firearms or ammunition. If you order from House of Pain, use my discount code HRFunk10, and that'll save you 10%. That's going to do it for now, folks. Until next time, hopefully without a broken rifle, good shooting. Bye-bye.